Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy here again, Dean from Burn 1, and I regret to inform everyone, you may have seen it, you may have not, that we accidentally did not include audio with our last upload, so this is me. I am giving you guys this deck profile again, this time solo. Kit's not here, and I also am sorry that this took extra time to get out. I was busy playing the new expansion in digital, River, or like, what is it, Return of River Branch or something like that. Fun meta. Took a while to find out that what I liked. I liked Armed Dragon. Armed Dragon's pretty good. It turns out has good matchups. Been enjoying playing that a lot. And I also got the Hozumi leader. Hozumi, you know, pretty good waifu. You'll see her eventually, hopefully in physical as well. But that's enough of that. Let's get right into it. Let's get into this deck profile today. It is the last archetype, I think, that we have to cover, and that is Dirt Rune. We've recovered all of the other classes already, including Rune already. We did D-Shift, however, we did not do Dirt Rune. So, here's the list. We're going to get right into it. So first off, I guess I should explain the difference between it and normal D-Shift. So D-Shift is the one where you have to play spells, and then those spells allow you to get payoffs based on the number of them in the grave. That's the spell chain mechanic. This is the Earthright mechanic, where we have cards that have a keyword called stack. And stack is an ability that you can tap. They're amulets that sit on the board, and you can exchange them in order to use additional effects that have Earthrights. And the cards that have stack can also tap themselves to sack all of your other stacks and gain counters, and then you can use those counters so that way you're not clogging your board with multiple amulets. You can like kind of condense it into one. And we're going to see that a lot, and that's just something you need to know going into this. So anyway, let's get right into it. First off, we have the Bell Ringer Angel as a 3 of. This is just in order to give us card draw. Very powerful card. Our deck doesn't generate a lot of advantage normally, so this is just something to help up the consistency of our deck. And we are playing one of the Evolve, so that, you know, maybe if our hand is not looking good, we're able to evolve it and then tempo out from there. Playing 3 Angelic Snipe, I thought this was just kind of the best thing that you could use while floating mana. This might be a little too bad. You might want to experiment. Definitely change this up if you like it, if you don't. Now onto our actual Earthrights. This is our, as we see here at the bottom, Amulet Earth Sigil. So this means the Earth Sigil. It has stack as well and has Fanfare Draw a card for 1 mana. It's just a 1 mana cantrip that's also going to feed into our abilities later in the game and definitely help us pay for these costs. Next up is the Crafty Warlock. He's a 2-drop 2/2, evolves for 1, and has a last word summon a Magic Sediment token. Magic Sediments just have stack, and they are Earth Sigils. And then we see here that when we evolve him, not only does he become a 3/3, but he also gains, when he is killed and sent to the grave, we're going to be able to add a 1 to a stack on our board. Very powerful effect. So then instead of getting 1 Magic Sediment, it's like we got 2. Definitely going to be very good, helping us keep up our tempo. Next up is Alchemist Workshop. We're also playing 3 of this. It's a 2 mana Earth Sigil that has Summon a Strikeform Golem, which is a 3/2 with Rush. We're going to be able to use this to clear our opponent's board and hopefully keep a little bit of the aggro off of us. Next up, I think this is more of like an 8-drop, and I'm going to get into why. So this is a 3-drop 2/5, evolve for 3, so you're going to see 6, and it has Earthright on play. Put 2 Guardform Golems into your EX area. Okay, so you get 2 Golems, and you got a 2/5. 2/5 is kind of respectable. However, the reason I say it's more of an 8-drop is you usually like to combo it. On evolve, we get all Golem followers cost 1 less to play, and whenever a Golem follower is put onto your board, choose the enemy leader or a follower and deal 3 damage to it. So the idea is that you're able to play down for 3, evolve it, and then put out the 2 golems and get 6 face damage while also promoting a large board. Alternatively, you could just drop this on 3, next turn, Evo Orb, plus 2, then 2 more, so on 4, going second, you could push 6 face damage plus the 3 from this. If you think that this thing is not going to die to removal. It does have a quite large defense stat, so hopefully, you know, maybe it lives. You might be able to be greedy with it. But if you're not feeling greedy, on 3, we also have just generic board clear. We're playing the Demon Flame Mage, 3-drop 3/3 vanilla, evolve for 1. This comes in the structure deck, and we're going to play 2 copies of it. It's on evolve, deal 2 damage to each enemy follower on the field. This is to help get the aggro decks off of you. Really, once you can get out of that early game against those aggro decks, it's going to be a lot easier for you. But getting to that point, getting that turn 5, that key turn 5 is going to be rough. And also to help us there, we're also playing 3 Runic Guardians, 3-drop, 3/4 with Ward. However, Fanfare, you either get to use Earthright to get +1/+2, going up to a 4/6. 4/6 very large, very hard to kill with removal. Or you can just summon a Magic Sediment. If you're doing the Sediment, you're probably in a bad spot. The 4/6 is a very respectable body, though. Next up is our last Earth Sigil that's on curve. It is a 3-mana amulet that on play we choose an enemy follower with 4 defense or less and banish it. Banishing is the strongest form of removal in the game. It is definitely going to help keep our opponent off of key last word effects, or possibly keep them from recycling very powerful effects that we don't want to see. Last up is Execution. This is a spell. Just quick, select an enemy card on the field and destroy it. Destroys amulets. Very good removal tool. It's going to help us get to 5. It's also going to be important in the sword matchup if they play the Royal Banner Sword, which I do not respect, by the way. It's just me. Because of cards like this, we can put this in our deck, instantly have a good sword matchup. Next up is Golem's Protection. We're playing 3 of this one. It's one of our key cards. Summons 2 guard form golems, which are the 2 3s with Ward. And it has Earthright. Give each golem follower on your field +1/+1, making them 3/4s. So you get 2 3/4s for 4. And I guess something important to note with this one is the way that it works is probably much like digital. Imagine first thing that's going to happen is you will summon the guard floor golems, and then you will use the Earthright. So if you do not have at least 2 spaces to summon the golems, you will not get both of the golem tokens. Very important to note that. It does come up, especially when we're playing a card like Juno's Secret Laboratory. On 5, this is a card that on play we get a guard 4 golem or a strike form golem. So we either get to deal with something on the board now or kind of ward up to protect ourselves. And it has once per turn. Well, I guess you just tap it. So it's not once per turn, but it kind of is. We can summon a Magic Sediment token. Or we can Earthright summon a guard form golem or strike form golem. If you have 2 of these out, the idea is you're able to tap both of them to get a 2/3 or a 3/2 continuously and just build up your stacks and just always pay for your Earthrights. That's kind of like where the mid-range of the deck is. And because we're trying to get to that and then, you know, combo it with this thing, the Ancient Alchemist, I'd say this is kind of a more... It's like a mid-range deck that's definitely playing for the long game, though. And at the long game, we also have Arch Summoner Erasmus, one of the biggest bodies in the game at the beginning. 7 mana, 6/8. Fanfare, Earthright, select an enemy follower on the field, 6 damage, and then 2 damage to the leader. And then Earthright on a tap, choose an enemy follower, 6 damage and 2. So the idea is you put him down, boom, 6/2, tap him, 6/2 again, that's 4 face damage, and then hopefully they're not able to clear the 6/8, and then you're able to just go face for another 6 and end the game that way. Also on 7, we are playing Lucifer, the premier legendary in the set. He is Evolve for 0, he has Ward, and at the end of the turn, he heals you for 4. But if you evolve him, his stats flip, he goes from a 6/7 to an 8/7, and he gains Bane instead of Ward. And at the end of the turn, you deal 4 damage to the enemies instead of healing. So, more aggressive card, definitely able to use this in the late game if needed. So yeah, I think that's the end of really the playable archetypes. I think we've kind of went over all of them. And, you know, as the meta progresses, we'll definitely give you guys more refined list as we make them. However, I think you guys all are at a pretty good point. And if you guys want to see any more Shadowverse content, leave a comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be bringing you guys everything as this meta continues to evolve. And until next time, this is Dean signing out.